Hello, Sir Ronald. I'm Nicholas, and this is my partner.
My name is Maretha Margaretha,
I will be. My role is Michael.
and my role is as Lori. What has happened? What has happened? And it turns out,
Well, I think that would be the same for me if someone was just a sharp intake of breath, like when you take your car to the garage and and they tell you how much it's going to cost to have your exhaust fixed, and you respond with, "That's what you would do."
exactly. It's funny you say garage.
That's I think a regional thing with English people because you could say garage. People would understand you in English. It just depends on your whereabouts in the country you're from.
Yeah, but it's funny, like where I'm from, and it this might differ, but America is so big, and I'm not really up on the different regional dialects. But I would say I took my car to the shop or to the workshop. I wouldn't even say the garage, or I would say garage. But the garage for me is the place you at like your own home.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like a special building where you park your own car. That's your garage. And usually you keep a bunch of tools and junks and like things in there.
Yeah, oh yeah, and your lawnmower and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It that's what we would call it in England too, but also it doubles as where you take your car to have it fixed, to have it repaired. But if you said that you were taking your car to the shop in British English, they would look at you really funny, like thinking you're going to sell your car in a shop. You don't have it fixed, but they would understand workshop, you know, that engineers and mechanics were in workshop. But a shop in British English, it's where you sell something, newspapers and things like that.
Yeah, so that could be a misunderstanding then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I mean, wouldn't you be clever enough to figure it out? Like, don't they know enough about American English from TV and things like that to pick up on that?
I think so. I think so now because there's so much of the TV in England that are American programs. And if you want to understand what's going on, you just have to get up to speed with what people say and the names they have for things. So I think most people would be able to figure it out. But I can't speak for everybody.
It's funny, there are a lot of expression in British English and American English that can completely screw you up if you're not being careful. One of my very, very favorite is the word rubber. Like, can I borrow your rubber? Have you got a rubber that I can borrow?
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, isn't that what? Because I learned most of my British English from reading and from these English teaching materials and vocabulary lists that you have, because it's always based on the British English model. And in these teaching materials, a rubber is what I would call an eraser, what you use to rub out pencil marks or erase pencil marks. But what do you call it, like spontaneously with what you know about British English? Like, would you call it a rubber or eraser?
It's quite funny that you brought this up because when I was young, I would, without even thinking, would just talk about this as a rubber, and I need a rubber. When I was a child, we used to write in pencil at school, and so every school child had to have a pencil and a rubber. This was important equipment for going to school. But it was only when I went to secondary school in England that I realized that rubber could actually mean something else, and particularly in with American English. And so I had to consciously start calling it an eraser and that actually felt really false.
Oh, funny. You say eraser and I say eraser. Do you hear the difference?
Oh, did I say that? Oh yeah, eraser, eraser. Yeah, I say it as if it's a Z or Z, as we would say. You call it a Z, we call it a Z. Eraser.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But yeah, I have to consciously do that because to me, to be honest, it's still a rubber.
hmm It's still a rubber, and maybe people don't understand what a rubber actually is, like in American English. And like as far as I know,
Perhaps we should.
yeah, the first thing that comes to mind when I hear the word rubber used as a noun for like a thing, like a condom.
That's right. That's a slang word for a condom. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can just imagine the unintentional fits of merriment that could occur at a business meeting if you said, "Oh, darn, can I borrow your rubber?" If you were sitting there with a bunch of Americans and that they might laugh at you.